Hi everyone, this is Homerino Collectibles, and today I'm going to be taking a little break from doing my little run of Lego reviews. I do have about 3 more battle packs to bring you, but we're just going to take a little break from that and review the Amazing Spider-Man Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. Now this is obviously from the first Amazing Spider-Man movie toy line of figures. I like the suit in the movie, but I don't particularly like the figure, so that's why I didn't get that Spider-Man. To get a Miles Morales now in figure form, and you don't have to buy ones that look similar to it or customize one, is great. I know it's not a very intricate design, but I really do like the suit. And if you're getting the new Amazing Spider-Man line from the second film that's coming out, Marvel Legends Wave, then you'll have the Build-A-Figure Ultimate Green Goblin, and you might not be able to find a place in your collection to put him. He might not fit in with anything. So for just a small price of anything under £10 basically, this is really cheap now, you can pick this guy up and then you have a perfect display for him. So before we go ahead and take a look at the figure, let's take a look at the box. So on the box here, in the bottom left, it does actually say Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. Obviously this is a European version, so it's got the different languages on there. And I think that's really good because a lot of figures come out nowadays, especially in the Marvel Legends waves, when you get European boxes, they don't have as much of a bio on them. So a lot of kids don't actually know who these characters are because, let's face it, comics are mostly read by people over the age of 20 these days. So, it's comics to me really aren't for kids anymore. They're for collectors. And you've got to put on the packages what these people are, and I'm just very happy that they have actually put Ultimate Comics Spider-Man, and they haven't just called him some kind of black agile stealth suit Spider-Man, and then only the collectors know actually who it is. And then as you can see, it says clip-on web shield 4+ Hasbro, and then over the back you can see the Spider-Man that I was just talking about and the lizard. I liked the lizard from the film. I do like the classic look of the lizard a hell of a lot more, but I didn't find anything wrong with this one. And then you just got super articulated, Ultimate Comics again at the top, and then we got clip-on web shield. So no bio or anything. It would be nice. It's just got the same stuff over and over and over again. I do like the artwork on the back here. But I do feel like it's a bit of a wasted space because there's so much space here that they could use to put in a nice bio so that the kids know what they're buying, because the stuff that's on the back is told to you on the front, but it doesn't matter too much. So let's just get to the figure itself. And here's Ultimate Spider-Man out of the packaging now, and it does look really, really good and super articulated. It is just like we come to expect from most Marvel Legends type figures now from Hasbro. So first of all, what we've all seen before, if you are a Marvel Legends collector, the pretty bog standard Marvel Legends base, which I actually think might be a little bit thinner than a normal base. It's a lot more a colour change there in the centre. As you can see, if I do that, you can see through these bits. This is thinner plastic here, so I think they are actually a little bit cheaper made than the normal ones, but they are definitely your normal size and everything, Marvel Legends bases, so you can use those with all your others. Now I do actually think that they're a little bit lighter and a little bit more flimsy than the standard ones, but there you go, you get one of those. And then you have your web shield here now. The base, it's always nice if things come with bases. I don't particularly like the design of those, but I do like that you can plug them all together if you have enough of them and create a nice sort of styled floor across your shelf. However, this, I mean, it's nice for what it is. I couldn't care less if it came with it or not. It's a great price for just him, let alone a shield and a base, but here's the shield, so if you're going to get it for kids, this is a lot better for them. I don't read the Ultimate Comics, so I have no idea if he does actually use this, but he probably does. But it's very well made. Very, very nicely done. And if you can hear a bell, that's my cat in the background trying to get in the door. So yeah, pretty nice. And then that just like Captain America shields, just clips right onto his arm, and then you can just pose him however you want with a shield, and it does work very well. And Jesus Christ, my cat's being loud right now. Shut up! So as you can see, you can make some pretty nice poses with the shield, and really it does add a very good playability factor, and it's very good that you can actually articulate this guy into some stances where it can actually be used. You can hold it in various different positions. A lot of the time when things come with swords and shields, in other toy lines for kids, they can generally only move their arms up and down or something, and they can't be used. So even though Spider-Man, you don't really associate him with a shield, although this one does come with one, it can actually be used to good effect. Amber has finally broke through the barriers and entered the room. Amber, say hello to the camera. Amber, say hello to the camera. You gonna watch the rest of the review, Amber? Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the articulation of this figure. So, the only really bad thing about this is that the head does not move up and down. It only moves left and right, which for me, there's other things about this figure that makes up for that, but for the most part, I really do wish that it did move up and down, because pretty much every single Marvel Legends figure can move up and down. So, a bit annoying, but it's not too bad. And then he has this shoulder pivot here, which moves forward and back, which is good for dynamic poses, especially for a Spider-Man figure. And then the shoulder moves up and down, and a full 360, so very, very well articulated shoulders. He has a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows. The hands can move in and out, as well as turn all the way around. And then, if we just take a look at the ab crunch here, doesn't move back very well, but front crunches a hell of a long way. Now, because he can't move the head up and down, you can't get even more dynamic poses like that, but at least the ab crunch is there. And then he has waist swivel, and then these are the joints that I don't like. Now, I know that there's people out there that do like them, and they do tend to stay quite tight. They're extremely tight when you first get them, so don't be worried about wearing them in sort of thing, getting them moving. They will be quite stiff. They're not joints that I particularly like, but once you've got them... Whoop. Hello. Hello. You know, somehow I really don't think that Amber wants me to do this review at all right now. But carrying on anyway. These legs are just something that I really don't like personally. They're just quite stiff. If you want to just pick it up and play with it, if you are younger, then you can't just, oh yeah, I'll move the legs out, because you've got to kind of bend it round, get it round, you know. It just takes a bit longer. And especially with a collector like me who has a lot of figures, if you do want to change up your display a little bit and you want to change some poses, then it just takes a little longer if you've got a load of figures with that style joint. However, it does stay in that position very well. You know, being quite tight and not just being able to move however, like on a ball joint, it can't come loose as easy, meaning that over time it's going to withstand being played with, or being in a particular pose for a long time, for longer, essentially. So there's good points and bad points about that, so I'm not actually going to call that a bad point, because there are good points to it. It's just, personally, I don't like it. And then he rotates at the hip just below that joint, and then you have your double jointed knee, you have a rotation at the calf slash boot, ankle pivot, and then the ankles also move up and down, which is very good. So articulation is, as it said on the box, very good. But like I said, I really don't like those joints anymore, and they're pretty much on every Spider-Man figure, so I'm very glad that with the new Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure they are actually getting rid of that. So finally we'll have a Spider-Man without it. But, you know, it's just one of those things, gotta live with it. Another thing that I really like about this mold is he doesn't have a generic Spider-Man firing pose in his hand, that is, because he's got this hand which is like an open hand, like a, is going to hold something, which is great if you have the Spider-Man figure that came from the first movie, because he came with that webbing, so he can hold that. And then he has this hand, which is very, very good for dynamic poses. Like you saw at the start of the video, you know, he looks like he's trying to reach out to you or something. It looks really, really cool. I really do like that. And then the design of the suit, a lot of people sort of attack the figure for saying it looks bland, but it's not the figure, it's the design of the suit, and I actually personally really, really like the design of this suit. So it's basically all black except for the fingertips, which are red with the black lines on, and then he has the Spider-Man logo on the front there with that red webbing with the line that runs across, which if you want to get it more in line, you can just move the shoulders a little bit and get it more in line. And then he has this very unique spider design on the back. Very nice. I really do like this red webbing over the black. The head sculpt looks great, exactly like what it looks in the comics. And then the eyes, they're not pure white, they're sort of like a creamish kind of colour with what looks a bit like sort of silvery, glittery kind of effect in there, which really makes them stand out and shine on that black costume. So I personally really, really like this figure, and as a size comparison, he is basically a tiny little bit smaller than most other Marvel Legends, just a little bit, meaning that this guy, Miles Morales, who is actually just about a teenager actually, he is younger, he is a scrawnier kind of Spider-Man, and he is a new Spider-Man, you know, he's new to the role, so obviously you want this guy to be a little bit smaller looking than everyone else. So yeah, I think it's a very good figure, and how I said about there's other good things about this head that makes up for the lack of movement is just the design, but also the shape of this neck, you know, hunched over, he does look like a kid. So I personally really, really like this figure, and I think that you guys should pick it up because it's extremely cheap nowadays. And you know, why not? Plus, as I said at the start, if you want that Ultimates Green Goblin, the Build-A-Figure from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Marvel Legends wave, which I do have coming, it's on pre-order from Compare Toys, so I'll get that and review them as soon as possible, as soon as they come out, which will be the end of this month, it should be. Then you'll actually be able to put this guy in the display with that Goblin figure. So thanks for watching the review, guys. Definitely you should pick this up, especially if you do like the comics anyway, and I'm very glad that they did get round to making this guy. So remember you get the base, you get your shield, extremely cheap, great figure. So be sure to stay tuned, because not only am I getting this up to you now, but I'm also going to be reviewing this guy, the Scarlet Spider. So this review will be up very soon, through the week most likely. Either today or tomorrow I'm actually going to be getting up my Pepakura Part 2 Iron Man video up, the how-to series of making your own Iron Man helmet. So if you haven't seen Part 1, go ahead and watch that, and then I'll have Part 2 up. I know a lot of people have been waiting for it, so I'm sorry for the delay, but it will be up most likely Sunday. Today is Saturday right now, and that's pretty much it, guys. So remember, stay tuned, subscribe for a load of more Marvel Legends reviews. I got Lego reviews coming, I've got some lightsaber stuff to come on, so lots of stuff happening on this channel within the next month or so, and a lot more Transformers coming as well. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next review.